Okay. So pretty much this is going to work is I'm going to go down from each healer alphabetically in the select screen and give basic tips and meta guides for each hero. And also this is my assistant game addict,
Ha.
or my guinea pig a little bit. And your YouTube is in the description.
My endorsement level has gone from 4 to 3.
Never
Why?
fighting for what you believe in.
Why?
Ana is probably by far the best healer in Overwatch. Mostly because with sufficient aim you can pump out 75 healing per second, or multiply that by 1.5 if you have her nade effect on. Her nade effect is actually probably one of the most overpowered abilities in the game, despite like Mercy Res and Immortality Field, because it increases healing received by anyone affected by 50% added. So Lucio's 16 healing per second aura, half of 16 is 8, so it would be 24 healing per second, which is like 60% of Zenyatta's Harmony Orb, which is 40 healing per second. But it also has the anti-effect. Wait. The effect isn't popping up. Yeah, Tracer. Yeah, it works on Tracer. So yeah, pretty much their purple health bar for 4 seconds. This can be cleansed with things like Recall, Wraith Form, Moira Fade, etc. But this is what makes this what makes Ana an extreme counter to Roadhog. Because if he hits a teammate, just sleep his ass. He's trying to heal, anti him, or sleep him again. And he's a pretty easy target if you want to damage him. Ana goes really well against slow-moving tanks like Orisa or Reinhardt, and even D.Va, because her hitbox is just so big. So in comps like Bunker Comp or standard Rein Zarya, Ana works really well. Her nano boost is actually one of the most like life-saving abilities in the game,
Now that
especially
the
since
healing to
a
it.
lot of enemies. Yes, especially because of the healing. A tip for saving your teammates actually is if you see a Reinhardt and he gets bubbled and he's charging your average DPS, if you nano them, charge just 300 damage when they hit the wall, and nano reduces the damage taken by 50%. So if a 200 health target were to get charged into a wall while nanoed, they would only take 150 damage. And this will almost always save them, because the Zarya can bubble their Rein so that they don't get slept out of it, but there's not that much they can do to kill off your DPS. So if a DPS like your McCree or Soldier or even Reaper has their ultimate, and you need it in the fight, feel free to nano them to save them from the pin. It keeps someone alive. A lot of people actually don't know this about Ana's ADS. If you punch and hold left trigger or whatever your ADS button is, it will cancel the animation and go straight into the scope bin. And it's not really that hard to pull off. Just start holding your ADS button while Ana's punching, and then you can do easy quick scopes. The ADSing is something you should really only do if you're trying to heal like a target from far away who's like drastically moving, like Ethan over there. Definitely use this on your Tracers or Genjis. But you should really never ADS. It's just really bad while scoped in. You can see Ethan's shots and know where he's shooting and where he is, but if you're unscoped like that, it's a lot harder for you to go unnoticed. Ana doesn't have that much, like, self-heal abilities. Like, yes, you can nade yourself, but you should really never nade yourself. You should always try and play Ana with a healer that you have comms with. So, like, if I take damage from, like, a bot over there, I'm not going to nade myself. I'm going to ask Ethan to heal me. Your nade actually has a lot more utility if you use it on Hamster. Sleep Dart can cancel a lot of ultimates. Can't sleep. Never be in the line of sight of Widow. You've seen Annas who like try and 1v1 the Widow, and they'll get 3 shots off, and they'll get the kill. I've done it once, but that Widow was an idiot.
You gotta be either a really bad Widow or a good Ana, or, you know, just
both.
get really unlucky shots.
Against Zenyatta, try and anti the people in trans, because anybody antied is like completely negated by Zen trans. So always try and go for that, because teams will most likely like play more offensively with it. Like Ryan will let down his shield, Zarya won't bubble because they'll just be healed back. And that's just the perfect time to get the double anti off. Your projectile time for your unscoped shots and your sleep dart are almost the same projectile speed, but don't really try and like remind yourself that the sleep dart is a little bit slower. As for nano targets, there are some that you shouldn't and some that you should. I'm not going to make a tier list or any reasoning, I'm just going to say from personal experience who you shouldn't nano. I would not recommend playing Ana unless you're like in diamond tier, because although Ana isn't the most complicated hero, she's very aim dependent. Even her nade, you have to have like arc knowledge on like how far you need to aim up in order to get like a hit on people. But yeah, Ana is very well used.
Widow. I got all that.
Yes. Ana is a sniper. Like, yes, she has a sniper rifle, but you definitely have to play her like a sniper. Oh yeah, forgot to teach you one-shot combo for Ana. Shoot nade, shoot melee. Easy as that. You don't have to melee, but it does kill them faster. If you see a Tracer or a Reaper, and you land that sleep like an absolute badass, here's what you do against them. That's it. You want to know why? You just give them the punch. A Tracer, when it's slept, knows she has 150 health, and almost anything can one-shot combo her. She will insta-recall. Happens every time. Every time I use it on a Tracer or Reaper or anything like that, they'll always use their get-out-of-jail-free card ability to get out of the sleep dart. And then, you have to leave them for 3 seconds, so that when they get out of recall, they'll be put in the exact same spot, immediately anti. Don't go for the shot, just go for the anti, because then they can't recall out of it, blinks don't cleanse it, and they're at a serious disadvantage. Baptiste is currently in the meta as of the time of this stream, and he is actually one of the most versatile healers in the game because he's the only reliable hit scan in the support category. Because Brig is a melee hero, Lucio, projectile. Mercy shouldn't be pulling out her pistol, but she's projectile anyway. Moira is a beam, but has a close range. Zenyatta is a fast projectile. Yes, Ana has her scope in, but as I said before, you really shouldn't use scope in on Ana. But yeah, Baptiste is purely hit scan, and he's a good hit scan. So if you need to counter a Pharah, but you're stuck on heals and roll Q, just switch to Bap. It's easier that way. Like Ana, you should really play behind your team a lot more. But try and play around places like here, so you can jump up, because a lot of characters in this game who will try to kill you won't expect you to just jump up. If you're ever in 1v1, try and charge your passive like halfway, so it makes your movement a lot less predictable. Always work on recoil control with Baptiste, because there's not that many heroes in this game with recoil control. They have spread a lot, but this one, lots of recoil control. It was recently nerfed, so it's a lot better now. Baptiste is extremely famous in bunker comps, because when playing against Bastion, because of his passive that reduces damage taken when you're in sentry configuration, and his armor from overall health, it's very easy to just out-heal a lot of damage from Bastion. And if he's like around this corner here, you can just immortality this wall, and then they don't have line of sight to get rid of the immortality, but the Bastion is still getting the immortality. So yeah, you want to practice that, playing your corners with the immortality field, because you'll get the most amount of use out of it without letting it get destroyed. So yeah, use Fart Cloud kind of whenever there's like even in poke phase, because it works like Briggs Inspire in a way, except you don't have to deal damage. You just get free ult charge from it, and Bap charges his ult way faster than you think, because he does a lot of group healing. And speaking of Ant Matrix, you see a lot of like pro plays on YouTube or Twitch where Baptiste will get like a 4 or a 5k with this ult. Don't try that. I've tried it. It doesn't work. You mainly just want to pair this with Grav or Shatter, like just anything. Definitely combo with your tank line because Sigma does 120 damage per ball if he can hit it through the amp matrix. You do not want to play BAP if you have 2 or more heroes on your team that cannot benefit from it. That's mostly the tips for Baptiste. Just play smart, work on your aim for hit scan. Oh yeah, if you do not know, if you are trying to find your yeet for your mortality, then you end up eating it off the edge and losing it. A good pro tip is it has the same exact arc as your healing. So if I'm like throwing my heals here, I'll know that if I throw a mortality, it will land against that exact same spot in the wall. So if you don't know where your mortality is going to land, you can quickly like aim it and know that it's right there. Land right there. Exact same arc. Definitely use it in game a lot, especially since I'm not the best with Baptiste. Okay, I'm not gonna try and make that many Brig jokes, but I'm actually going to say this. Brig takes more skill than Moira.
Ouch. But
I can admit that I am a Moira main. I can admit that Brig takes more skill than Moira. Your top priority with Brig is always make sure your Inspire's up. Like, if you look on my stats here, you'll see, like, assists, damage blocked, armor provided, Inspire uptime percentage. You, like Zarya with her average charge, you always want to have this up. So if you see Overwatch players, like, throwing their whip directly into the team, they're just kind of hoping for damage because the enemy team will either push knowing that you have Inspire up and it's free healing for everyone, or they have to wait and lose time for the Inspire to go out. So even though you're giving the enemy healers more ult charge for healing the damage you're doing, you always want to have Inspire up. That's just how you play Brig. Prioritize your DPS before your tanks and your supports before your DPS, because Brig is not the best healer. She is in terms of support. One of her primary goals in development was that she was meant to counter DPS like Tracer and Genji because they can just stun them, deal some quick damage, and have that be that. Never let your shield get destroyed. Let it down at like 17, because the last thing you want is to like have your shield break, and then a diva bombs, and even if you had just 1 health on the shield, you would have been able to survive it. So never let it break, because if it breaks, you have a cooldown, and that cooldown was recently increased to 5 or 6 seconds. I don't remember. I'm not letting those training bosses through my shield to find out. But yeah, just never let it break. And that goes with Sigma and Reinhardt. Never let the cooldown go. Just let it go at like 50. Yeah, Brig, pretty much don't be DPS, but always make sure that you're dealing at least some damage to keep your uptime. And also, it doesn't matter how much damage you're doing, it doesn't affect it at all. Even if you land a Shield Bash does 5 damage. That will activate your Inspire just by itself. So if you Shield Bash the Tracer and you force recall out of her, that's it. You have your Inspire for like the next 5 seconds. So just keep Inspire up, make sure you're dealing damage, keep your supports alive. People use Brig a lot as a frontline character, but you really just want to play right next to your shield tanks. It is fine, completely fine, to use your rally before a fight, because the armor isn't temporary. The armor stays until it's destroyed. So if you win a fight and Inspire with your team on the point, you keep the armor. And then, like, I'm a Brig, and I have 350 health. It's going to be hard to kill me. And also, like Tracer Blinks and Junkrat Mines, always make sure you're charging them. So if you look at the bottom right, I'm charging a Repair Pack. It's about to come off. I'm going to use another one, because I always want to be on cooldown, because it'll just make my healing output better. Because even if a teammate needs, like, 20 healing, I can just heal them. It's not really affecting me at all. And never let it go to 0, because like your cooldown for Shield Bash, not Shield Bash, for your shield in general, you always want to make sure you have it available in case the enemy starts ulting. If you can control whether or not your abilities are like completely offline, you want to make sure that they always can be, in emergency situations, the best. Lucio has a lot of settings in the options menu that you can change specifically for yourself. You'll see in the hero section, this is where all hero specific settings are, other than allied health bars. There are two in specific: allow backwards wall ride and hold to crossfade. These are my settings personally. Wait, I have allow backwards wall ride on. So I recommend backwards wall ride because it will make it so you don't have to look at the wall or like pay much attention to the wall while you're on it. You always want to be wall riding. It's just free mobility. Using amp, you always call out your amp. If you are in my game and you do not call out your amp, I will report you. That's a joke. I'll be mad at you though. Like no joke. Always call it out, whether you're speeding or healing. Whatever you call out, say I'm amping speed or amping heal. It's okay to like switch for a split second if you need like
that's so much
quick
better.
momentum or quick healing. Just make sure you're on the majority of one part of your crossfade with your amp. And also, what I recommend is if you're on healing, switch to speed for a second when you're about to go on a wall, because it will just increase how far you go. And also, I recommend going on speed while you're reloading, because it just gives you repositioning time while you're reloading. For Lucio, you want to work on your aim while you are like doing this shit, while you're being red at Lucio. The best way to do this is to play ground Pharah, just a little bit. Yeah, playing ground Pharah is a lot. It's really helpful. Yeah, just make sure you get to land those headshots, land those body shots, deal a lot of free damage that people don't expect from Lucio. Playing Lucio with slow comps, like you're running Torb, Sim, or Rein Zarya, amping speed is the last thing people expect. Like, you go so fast. Like, a Reinhardt with speed boost while he's holding a shield up is like the scariest thing I've ever seen. Like, I've seen nano Reinhardts, and I'm more scared of a speeding Rein. But yeah, speed boost, I wouldn't use it all the time whenever I'm amping. It's better with heals because I believe it's 60 healing per second when he's amping, which is better than Mercy. There are codes where you can practice rollouts, although you should definitely use rollouts when you're trying to contest. Always stay with your team when going out of spawn. Like, I see this all the time. Lucio's either use wall run to get to the point fast as possible, but you're leaving your team behind because you're going faster than your team can, even with the speed boost. Always stay with your team on the ground. It's just better. It hurts your soul a little bit, but it's just better. Like, and amp too. Only amp when it's not 2 CP. I mean, not 2 CP, King of the Hill. You don't want to amp in King of the Hill because it'll still be on cooldown when you get to the point, and team fights occur so often on King of the Hill because it's King of the Hill, obviously. Any other mode, though, it's fine to amp because it usually comes back online when you're there. But yeah, just keep in mind, your team is more useful with Lucio than you are as Lucio, if that makes any sense. Because you are only benefiting from your crossfade. If you are with your team, that is pretty much 5 people being affected the same as you. So your team, more important than you, but stay alive though. And also, Lucio's beat drop is technically a double jump, so if you need to clear a little more distance, you know, go past this corner to make sure those guys get their fucking sound barrier. Do that. Just make sure you don't accidentally, like, beat right here and, like, deny this poor friendly Roadhog, because that's definitely a friendly Roadhog. Yeah, off the map with you. The last thing you want to do is, during a Nano Blade, miss, like, 2 people and they die, because that's just kind of a waste of your ultimate. You're trying to keep people alive. So just play really smart with Lucio. He's actually more frontline than Brig, because he's much faster, he can heal himself whenever the fuck he wants. Play Lucio with the team. Your comms are extremely important. You're like the team leader every time. A lot of people don't know this either. Lucio, he has a one-shot combo too against 200 health targets. A lot of people don't do this when booping because it's just unheard of. The one-shot combo is 4 headshots, boot melee. If you press them right next to each other, even if they're like flying, hold on, don't hurt McCree. What I make up. So, like, I'm going to boop him in the air. He will go at the maximum velocity a boop can go. You can still get the melee off. I didn't even move forward to do that. So you can deal more damage, and since melee does booping, like look, he moves a little bit. You can just make your boops that much more effective in damage and like CC if you just add a melee out at the end of it. And it'll be absolutely embarrassing if people get booped off by a punch. It won't really affect the Reinhardt buff that much, but it will negate a little bit of it because it was nerfed to 25% instead of 50.
Oh wait, no.
So yeah, and I would just recommend always, even if you're just trying to do damage, just punch at the end of your boots. It's that simple. It really doesn't matter. But yeah, land all the headshots. Do that. I wouldn't really focus on it because chances are you're not going to get 4 headshots with a single burst. But yeah, it's just extra damage. The boop does 50 damage instead of 20 because melee does 30, boop does 20, so it does 50, and it does a little more knockback. Mercy is one of the most high, I'm not gonna say most high skilled, but definitely the most versatile skilled heroes in the game because she has a very low skill floor but a really high skill ceiling. Meaning, like, if you're bad at her, you can still be decent at her. But if you're really good at her, then you're making the most out of it. Mercy here, better Mercy than me. I'm just gonna point that out. I've played a lot of Mercy before, and I used to main Mercy. But yeah, this one's a lot better. If you would like to demonstrate Mercy, if you super jumps with like this guy over here, pretty much how it works is you crouch right before your Guardian Angel, and right as it ends, you jump. Depending on how you do it, you can get multiple effects, but this is like the best one. I got into one of the worst habits on Mercy. How her levitate works is it activates whenever you're holding your res button or your jump button. But I got into the habit to where I levitate using left trigger, so whenever a res opportunity comes up, my Mercy will automatically just res. It gets me killed a lot, it gets a lot of failed reses, that's why I stopped playing Mercy. So whenever you're learning Mercy, just make sure that you're learning how to levitate with A and not left trigger, like I did. I wouldn't focus on attack boosting that much. Obviously, yeah, like that. Okay, you can stop flexing, come on. Obviously, it's good to pair attack boost with things like Death Blossom, Soldier Ult, Genji, all that sort of things. But you never just want to be attack boosting regularly, even if you're pocketing. Whenever you're pocketing a target, hold on,
I don't want to be attack boosted.
So let's say that I'm trying to pocket this McCree right here.
Fan the hammer,
and he's, you know, just doing damage, just anything, just play McCree, I guess. And if a defensive ability like Sigma Suck or Defense Matrix comes offline, you want to switch to healing just in case, because your McCree's not going to get any like value out of being attack boosted. If oh, that was a good one. If there is an ability like that going on. Also, if he's playing someone like Reaper and he's Wraith forming, just heal him, because he can't deal damage when he's in Wraith form. Just heal him during that. So like, just remember to switch to healing for those split seconds, just because it increases their health by just that much. And also, when you're pocketing someone, make sure they're at full health before you attack boost them. I've died so many times because I've been pocketed, but I'm at half health and my Mercy won't heal me. Also, when you're Valking, a lot of Mercies, what they'll do is they'll fly into the air because they'll assume everything's okay, and they'll be harder to hit. Their hitbox is being fucked with because of their wings, and they can just fly it because they can. But if the enemy is running like an Ashe or a McCree or something like that, you want to just hold your crouch button and stay close to the ground, because you're still getting the same amount of value. You just won't get like high nooned or random headshot, that sort of thing. So yeah, like that. Just stay extremely low. If they're running double projectile or no hit scan, it's obviously a lot better. For Riptire, fly as high as you can. You might not die. Riptire is bullshit. Like Lucio, she has a lot of hero specific settings. That's Mei. Mercy is a lot. So she has toggle beam connection, meaning you have to like press it multiple times if you want to switch between on and off. Guardian Angel prefers beam target, meaning you can fly to someone you're not healing if you're healing someone else. Toggle Guardian Angel, you can just press it to stop at mid thing. And she has her own sensitivity bars for Guardian Angel and her beam sensitivity.
Bro, Anna's is crazy.
Mess with this stuff. Before you consider playing Mercy, just go into the practice range, mess with this stuff. Those are my specific settings, but then again, I don't trust myself with Mercy. I will fuck it up every time. Why are all my Discord friends coming here? Oh yeah, that reminds me. This video is being advertised by our Discord server, Cosmos EC. The link to that Discord server is going to be in the description of the YouTube video version of this stream. I recommend you join it. You can talk to me anytime. We're a lot of like Overwatch players, Apex players, Rocket League, even other stuff if you're not
Siege
into any of those games. Yes, Siege 2. But yeah, the server's really cool. Recommend you join it. You also get notified whenever I post a video or start streaming. So you get to check out the other streams like this if I do a tank guide, which I'm going to do at some point. I'm going to do a tank guide. I love Moira, but she is definitely like both the lowest skilled healer and the second best healer in the game. A tip that a lot of people don't actually know is Moira does 60 healing per second, but when someone receives a bit of your healing, they get healing over time for a few seconds. Like, look at this health bar. He's getting shot at, he's still getting healed, even though I wasn't healing him. So if you have like a Winston or a Genji or a Tracer that's about to dive, just give them a little tinkle, you know? They'll heal over time while they're in the dive for a few seconds. Really only like hold it into them whenever they are like in constant need of healing or they're a tank. The next tip, and a lot of people don't know this, if you want to recharge your health bar, a lot of people know that you can just hold left trigger and you deal damage and you get it back, but that's not actually the fastest way. The best way to do it is click it, like just spam click it. Like make sure Moira is like semi-auto. If you spam it, look how fast my health bar is recharging. Like, I only did half of his health, which is a lot less damage, but I completely recharged it in like a fraction of the time. Second thing, I will never let you play Moira in my game again if you throw damage balls. And it is not because you're a DPS Moira, it is actually worse. So I actually know the numbers of Moira because I've played her forever. But a damage ball does 50 damage per second to any target within 4 meter range. No, 5. It's being reduced to 4 in next patch. And it has a capacity of 200, meaning if like an enemy were to stand right in this small room and constantly being damaged by this orb, both the orb and the person would disappear from existence at the same time. The healing ball, however, does 60 healing per second, which is a faster rate, and it has a capacity of 300. Meaning you will get more ultimate charge from healing ball every time. But that's only if you're like, you know, people need healing in the first place. The only time I'll ever accept you throwing a damage ball is throwing it at the enemy spawn at the beginning of the game for free ult charge, or if you're in a duel without any of your team. Also, if you're in a Moira 1v1, healing ball every time, and because you can choose to stay near your healing ball, the enemy can choose to go away from your damage ball, so you will always get more value out of a healing ball in a duel than a damage ball. It's just facts. And if like a Zenyatta you're diving accidentally headshots you, it's a lot less punishing to your health because your lifesteal and healing ball combined makes you... Well, you get a lot of heals. Like Winston, where your only source of damage is just a constant stream of damage. If you can easily see their health bar go below the 30 mark and then give them a quick finish. Because some DPS will like wait to use their abilities until they're like below 30 health, because they'll get more time to kill you. But it's just good to surprise them with the quick finish. Make sure you're always above half healing, because you never know, you might get an unlucky string of events to where you use more healing than you get it back. That's that. Zenyatta is both the best and the worst hero in Overwatch. He has the most damage capability out of any hero in the game, and he has one of the lowest healing in the game. Lucio is, well, Lucio, but he does group healing, so we don't give him any shit for it. Harmony Orb, 40 healing per second. Discord Orb. The enemy with Discord Orb on takes 25% more damage. Always be animation canceling. Like, if you just hold down your right trigger fire, you don't really have to worry about any... Where'd the... Okay, who the fuck, like, killed the...
What are you talking about?
Done. Call out your orbs and their health, because as you can see, I have Mercy with my Harmony Orb. I have it right here. I can see your health bar, and I can see the training bot's health bar. So you can like call out someone's health and where they are through walls. Like, just always mean it's free knowledge. It's like infosight, except not as accurate. Always be healing someone. Even if they're at full health, just always have your Harmony Orb on someone. They won't run from you. It's kind of hard for them to do that.
Good for Genjis.
Should always be healing. It's better. It's just better for your ultimate. If a Tracer dives you, and if you start maining Zen, you will see this. I'm going to do this once slow and once fast to show you how fast you can bleed a Tracer. Discord, headshot, melee. That was slow. Don't touch it.
Hey, I'm watching.
Now this is in fast motion. It kind of just looked like I just headshot her. You didn't see my melee animation or my Discord animation. A lot of Zens just think, oh, I'm just healing. Because, fun fact, Zen does 300 healing per second whenever you're in trans. And do you want to know how much healing 300 healing is? It's as much as a spawn door. Like, by exact. Like, it is exactly the amount as much as a spawn door. If there's a Bastion ulting right here, just body block his ass. He'll hurt himself more than he'll hurt you because you're invincible. Body block the charge if it's like safe. Don't get too far from your team though. You still need to keep them healed because they will let down their guard if they see a trans.
Reaper and Junkrat are some of the best Discord combos.
Oh yeah, like watch this shit. Just shoot her once.
Okay. Yeah, she's a 250 health target, right? So let's do McCree.
250.
Look,
see,
almost dead.
Melee.
Oh
yeah. So Discord combos with close range heroes, just like anything that has to do with enemies taking more damage or your team dealing more, always pair it with close range heroes like Junkrat, Reaper, Roadhog. Like, people just don't expect it. Zenyatta, you always want to play it as far back as you can, because Zenyatta does not have fall-off damage. I don't believe he does, actually. Hold on, let me check. It's because Zenyatta's 55 per shot. Yeah, that's 55. Yeah, Zenyatta doesn't have fall-off damage. You can easily, like, surprise an enemy from far away with, like, a quick burst that they won't expect. There. Done. Enemy deleted. Use your automatic fire more than you use your volley. So although they do the same amount of damage, you want to have your actions per minute really, really high. So I prefer right trigger over left trigger any day of the week. It's just better that way. But if you really need to like surprise an enemy from around a corner,
or tanks, yeah.
Done. Do you always want to be calling out who your Discord orb is on? You don't need to call out who your Harmony orb is on, because people can just ask for it if they don't already have it, and that's that. But yeah, call out your Discord. Don't say their name. Say the person they are playing. I see it far too often. I don't care to check what someone's fucking name is. I'm not going to call out, I Discorded Mercy, yes. I'm just going to say, I Discorded Mercy. Oh yeah, unless it's absolutely necessary. And this just goes across the board, no matter who you're playing. Lucio with Amp, Ana with Nade, Bap with farting. Never use your abilities to heal yourself. You have a second healer. Only do it when it's completely necessary, because your life matters a lot when you're a main healer. But yeah, just say, hey, I need some heals. Like that. See? Easy as that. Didn't have to nade myself. Mercy? Really good with Zarya. I know Zarya is not a support, but just runner with Zarya. It's so much easier on your Mercy. Lucio Moira was the past meta because you have speed and you have easy heals. And Moira is bullshit and can damage anyone anytime. Always be like biotic grasping someone through deflect or through kinetic grasp like Sig. It just negates their ability completely. Current meta is it was Baptiste and Mercy, I think. Not Mercy, it was Brig. Brig. Because you get CC, you get all the utility you want, and you get a decent amount of healing, because the Fart Cloud is pretty much Inspire, but buffed a little bit. So even if your Brig is on like an unlucky break and doesn't have her Inspire up, Baptiste can just like rip us a new one, and easy. That's it. Never combine 2 off heals unless... like, you've seen 2 off heals as the healers of the enemy team before, but that is only if they're DPS, at least one of them can self-heal. So either Doomfist,
Reaper,
May, Reaper, Soldier, Sombra, because she can hack health packs and she can escape almost anything, and Tracer, unless at least one of your DPS are one of those heroes, and your tanks are 400 healthers. 400 healthers are Orisa. I'm counting her because I know she has a 450, but she is less than 500, so it's fine. Sigma,
Zarya.
and Zarya. Both your tanks have to be those, of one of those 3, and one of your healers has to be one of the self-healing ones. That is the only way you can run 2 off healers, like Lucio Zen, Brig Lucio, Brig Zen. I don't count Mercy as a main healer. I consider her an off healer, but you can, if you're trying to run double off heals, you don't have to follow those rules I said with the 400 health tanks and the self-healing DPS if one of the off healers is a Mercy, because she is one of the most healing off healers. But yeah, try and get used to every single healer because your team will thank you for it. It's always the DPS fault.
Your career
Remember
will
that,
thank you for
and
it.
that is the end
Wait.
of my tips video.